Good morning. I know a lot of people are still working their way into the room, but I thank you all you early birds for being here, and we're going to get started because we have a very full program today. So it is my pleasure and distinct honor to welcome you, to all of you, to the Nest Summit, the official event partner of Climate Week NYC, and thank you very much for joining us to mobilize climate action. Now, with almost daily headlines of the devastating extreme weather events, it's now very clear to virtually all of us that we are living at the edges of climate change. And the regularity with which we are experiencing the alarming and unsettling effects of climate change is having a profound effect upon our society. Studies now show that 45% of young adults between the ages of 16 and 25 are experiencing eco-anxiety. However, this constant barrage of news about the impacts of extreme weather is also opening a new window of opportunity, where this new level of awareness and anxiety and fear can be transformed into action. And that's why it's so important that we are gathering here today to unite in action, amplify the awareness of solutions, and inspire the acceleration of climate action, which is the very mission of our campus. With so much dire news about climate change in the headlines, people often ask me if this is a really depressing space in which to work. And thankfully, because of my awareness of all the great work that's being done by the participants in the Nest Summit campus, I can honestly say that I find the climate solutions space to be a very exciting and dynamic area in which to work. And I am confident that we have many of the solutions and increasingly the willpower we need to make the changes required to avoid catastrophic climate change. We do have tons of work to do, and the next 8 years are so critically important. According to NASA, we have now experienced 1.1 degrees Celsius of global warming. And already, the impacts of climate change are so severe that they are threatening the integrity of much of the world's infrastructure. For example, over the summer, tarmacs on highways were melting, rails were buckling, the viability of water transport was being compromised, as are food supplies in much of the world. Energy supplies and electrical grids are being strained like never before. In short, while we are living at the edges of climate change, 1.1 degree of global warming, critical tipping points in many areas are literally just inches away. The refrain, "There is no time to waste," has never had more gravitas. And with that, I'm going to move right along into our program today. We're true experts, and we have over 70 speakers representing 65 different organizations, are going to address the many climate solutions that are available today and lead us into more widespread climate action.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to see everyone here. As Britton mentioned, I've been working in television for many years, covering all types of disasters, all types of extreme weather, from hurricanes to floods, from tornadoes to droughts. And through the years covering these types of events, really from all over the country, locally and on the national stage, one thing I noted, even myself just as a broadcaster, was that these events are happening more frequently and impacting more people. And that made me want to dig deeper. In 2012, I wrote my first book called Extreme Weather: How to Survive Natural Disasters. But it wasn't until 10 years later that I really took a look at climate change in a different perspective and how it affects personal health and wellness. And I wanted my new book, Taking the Heat, How Climate Change Can Affect Your Mind, Body, and Spirit, and What You Can Do About It, to offer solutions and takeaways. So for that book, I interviewed global experts in the medical field, health field, and in the mental health field. So this book is really a look at how climate change affects us physically that some of us might be aware of through more exposure to infectious diseases and the loss of biodiversity, how all of that can affect us when it comes to our health. But I think an important aspect to consider is the mental health aspect. Eco-anxiety, for example, as Britton mentioned, affecting so many young people I interviewed, and parents that are looking for ways to talk about this important topic with their children. With the frequent natural disasters, with the climate-induced weather events that we're seeing affecting more people are traumatized and facing anxiety when even just the reports of these events are in the weather forecast. Some people live in places like in California where wildfires are happening repeatedly to the same area over and over again. And children that are displaced in these disasters, as in hurricanes, are affected greatly and often for the long term. So I think that it's important to focus on all the aspects of how climate change affects health and look for ways to mitigate your personal risk. I am the MC for the NET Summit, and I am very pleased to be here among this group of influential climate leaders, and I will be guiding you through the main stage programming over the next 2 days.